Man, that intro, I need to redo that. It's way too damn short. Just wanted to talk to you guys today. This is kind of like a laundry or work video you put on in the background. Nothing exciting is going to happen unless you want to stare at my beautiful face or Bruce Lee or maybe just something in the background. My bird is eating and it is messy. We have a, here I can show you, so sorry about the shakiness. You can see her there. She's eating. Now, as you can see, we have this mesh thing protecting it. So that's where her food is, and then she specifically comes over here and eats it right by the wall or the side of the cage. And when she does, and she chews it, and it pops, where does it go? Everywhere. So occasionally I let her out, and then I put her on the floor to eat all her crumbs as a vacuum cleaner. So you can see all like the food particles in the mesh. That makes us look like lazy parents, but I mean, we could do that every day, and there would be stuff in there. Anyway, so there's that. Oh, zooming in way too much. Alright, that was the wrong way. Alright. So the reason I'm making this video today is, oh, that's my mouth. Now that we're back to me. God, this sweater makes me just a beast. Alright, the reason that I'm making a video today is, it was a rough day. I'm lacking motivation in anything. I don't want to do anything. I don't know if it's depression or what. You know, I don't have it. I come home and I don't want to do anything. I just want to sit here and exist in a vapid, useless existence. All my passions that I had in North Carolina, all the passions that I still hold, I guess, just have no interest in pursuing. Ultimately, I want to do nothing. I come home, I do not want to draw. I do not want to paint. I want to stare at Tumblr, Reddit, YouTube, and just waste my time. Now, I moved up here to Michigan, you know, on a chance, you know, with a good opportunity, with a good job. And thankfully, my girlfriend, Ashley, she came with me. Man, without her, whew, I don't know where I'd be. Probably back in Charlotte. Charlotte, North Carolina. Probably back in Charlotte. But, yeah. So I'm just not happy. I don't have any motivation to do what I want to do. You know, the things I do, like, I still enjoy martial arts, but I can't practice it because, you know, money's been really tight since I moved up here. We came up here, my car's been broken. I'm driving a rent-a-car right now because my car was recalled. Woo, go Chevy. And then my girlfriend, Ashley, her car broke. I had to fix it, and then I'm happy and thankful that I had the money to be able to fix it. I feel like an adult. Imagine that. So money's been tight, but I mean, you know, it is what it is. I still could train outside. Oh wait, I live in Michigan. I could train inside. I could, you know, do something. And I have been going to the gym. And me and my good friend David, we've started doing the Arnold Blueprint. In case you guys don't know what it is, probably most of you don't. It's on bodybuilding.com. He released a 8-week program to become buff and huge, and you know, I've started that. I need to go. I'm gonna go after I make this video and upload it, because it takes like 20 minutes, and I'll go and I'll do today's chest. Anywho, and I'm enjoying that. I'm not really losing any weight, but I'm not really looking to do that. I'm just looking to get stronger in general. I've never been the strongest person. I've been strong enough. You know, like when I did martial arts, you know, I was strong enough. I didn't have one punch KO power bomb, but I don't have one punch KO hands. I probably, if I punched somebody as hard as I could with my right hand, would just boop. If I punched someone as hard as I could with my left hand, my arm would go boop. So I always held that in the back of my head. Plus, I had no reason to punch. I mean, we're training. It's not like I'm in a fight. Anyway, excuse me. Anywho, so I mean, I have, and I haven't really met anyone because I haven't had the chance to go out and meet people. And that's, I mean, it sucks, but it is what it is. And you know, in Japan, I had the opportunity. I mean, you're kind of forced to meet people, right? You're in school, and you know, living in a foreigner's dorm, so you had camaraderie. But here, you know, just her and I. And her personality is different from mine in that she could have one or two friends and be good to go. And that's not enough for me. I mean, just personality difference. And you know, not to say that that's good or bad or whatever, but you know, it's something. So I just find myself sitting here. And in the house, and there's a reason this camera's at this particular angle. The house isn't clean either because I just don't have any desire to clean it. And Ashley, you know, she works a lot. You know, she's got 2 jobs. So I'll come home and it's not my responsibility, but I feel like I should do housework because, you know, it's not like she wanted to move to Michigan. It's me, like, hey, I got a job in Michigan. Would you like to? You got some free time on your hands. You could come with me. And I hear they have lakes, one named after them. And yeah, so I feel kind of obligated again. Nah, I don't know. Fuck it, whatever. So yeah. I want to do things. I think ultimately, however, it comes down to what you do in life in terms of job and how that affects you. Even I have a very good friend, and I'll name names because I don't know how many people will really watch this. My good friend Dennis, he helped me with Geek Confetti, which will hopefully be starting back soon. Fingers crossed. Knock on wood. Boost my ego, and maybe that'll work. Yeah, my good friend Dennis, he has a full-time job. Me and him, we graduated with the Japanese major, and nothing, and maybe I think we both had minors. My minor was international studies, and you know, I graduated with no clear direction. I still have no clear direction, but he works 40 hours more a week. You know, he goes in just like I do. We both go in at 8 a.m. Both leave at 5. And, well, I leave when I can. It's normally not 5. And we're both just exhausted, regardless of whether or not we like or dislike or do well at a job or don't do well. You know, we're exhausted. So I come home from my job. I got out of work today at 6:45. And that's fine. I'm salaried, so, you know, that's how it goes. You work a little more. And I had a long talk with my boss, Japanese boss. And we had a long talk about, you know, what you apply. And he told me that I'm very smart. And that, you know, if I have passion, I can learn whatever I want to learn. And that's great. I'm glad he thinks that. And it's not the first time I've heard it. I know that sounds egotistical, but it's not the first time I've heard it. And you know, but passion is a thing, and it's a thing that can't be falsely nurtured. It has to be there. Now, in the beginning, it doesn't have to be there, but it can grow into something. But it can't. I just contradicted myself. because I just said it couldn't be nurtured, but it can be, I guess. You're only going to be passionate if you want to be. Now, what you can change, I guess you can nurture it. So I redact my previous statement. I redacted. But it's something you have to be interested in. And what I work in, I don't have an interest in at all. I work in a chemical company, and I took chemistry in college, and I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it at all. I actually kind of enjoyed it because it's memorization, and that's one thing that I'm good at is memorization. If I apply myself, sit there and take the time to do something and memorize it, I can memorize it, and it'll be up there for a damn good while. If I don't use it, however, it will invariably go away in due time. Just like with martial arts, I'm really good at traditional. Well, that sounds... I'm good at... I'm good at series and forms. So, in Jeet Kune Do, they have... You know how in I don't know if you know. Okay, in Taekwondo and Karate, they have forms. Katas. Where they do certain things over and over in certain kicks, and then they reverse it, and And when I was in Japan, I did karate for a couple months. I don't remember any of the forms, but in Jeet Kune Do, Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune Do, he didn't like forms. There are two forms in it. Well, technically one. No, I guess there's two. Two technical forms, like free forms. One's called Ung Moon, or five gates. They say, you have 4 gates here. 1, 2, 3, 4. In Wing Chun, there's 4. In Jeet Kune Do, he added a 5th, which is the legs. And so, you do Ung Moon. And I was good at remembering what they are, and I could probably still remember it if I, hear pause. You can't see my hands what I'm doing, but Tan Sao, Bu Sao, Jung Sao, Tan palm down, Bu palm up, Jung like this, John Wayne White. So that's all useless information. But what I'm saying is that I'm good at memorization when it comes to things I'm interested in. So when I had to pass the chemistry exam, which I was interested in passing, I was able to study and do it. When I wanted to pass my whatever belt test, Jeet Kune Do doesn't have belts but levels, my level test, I had to display a particular set of knowledge, set of skills, and I was good at that because I memorized it and I put time into it, lots of time. So I'm here at work, and I find myself not wanting to learn what I need to do to succeed at my job, and that's bad. Now, there's probably a lot of different reasons that I'm not sure I particularly want to go into with you now, but ultimately it all leads back to the motivation and the lack thereof. And I have lots of interests that I want to pursue, and I'm sure people are probably aware that are on my Facebook are like where my mind's at and where it was at before. And this is a huge opportunity, a big chance. But I think I made a mistake. Not because I just left my friends and everything that I know. I've done that before. I did that in Japan. It's a little different. Regardless, I did it. And I'm so happy that I have Ashley here. However, I do not like my job. And, ooh, darkness. I do not like my job. I don't see myself growing to like it. And that leads me to ask, well, what should I do? How should I pursue? I want to be successful in life, and by successful I mean, make enough money to support myself. I don't want to be like crazy rich. I don't have that ambition. to be crazy rich. I don't want that fame. Be rich without fame. But I wouldn't even mind fame. I don't know. But ultimately, I want to be comfortable, and it's been so hard to do that. And that might be playing into my depression or my lack of motivation. So, as an adult, you work 8 to 5, right? That's normal. And so you have to structure your time accordingly. You have limited time. If I need to be at work at 8, I'd like to wake up at 7. Earlier if I could, but generally my body won't let me. So 7. So I probably should go to bed around 11. It never really happens, but let's say 11. That gives me from 5 till 11. That's about, that's a good chunk of time. But let's say like a day like today, I didn't get home till 6:45. I didn't get home till like 7:15. Got off at 6:45. Okay, 7 to 11. 4 hours. 7. Okay, 8, 9, 10, 11, 4 hours. And it's about 8 o'clock right now. I wasted 45 minutes eating because I have to eat. And then just on the internet. So I have 3 hours left. And I want to work out. And working out takes about an hour. 2 hours. What can I do in those 2 hours? Well, I could draw, I could paint, I could do something. I couldn't paint. Painting takes a little time. But I could draw, I could study, I could learn a new skill, I could study work stuff. So, and that's where I lose it. I just look at that and man, I now know why my mom and my dad, even though they are divorced, and after they divorced, they both made their own business. They're both entrepreneurs. And they're not making other people money, they're making themselves money. Now, I guess it's the same. I'm sales, and my cat is currently using the litter box, and he's loud when he does it, so I apologize if he can't hear me. And this is a 17-minute video, so I should try and wrap it up because no one's going to watch this. But if you do, thank you for watching. You could talk about my cat taking a shit. And I will know that you've watched it, and I will appreciate it greatly. I will give you a cookie. I owe lots of people cookies. I owe 2 people cookies. Anyway. I know now that why they're entrepreneurs, because they're making themselves money. And as a salesperson, I am essentially making myself money, but I'm also giving most of that money to a company. So then, you ask yourself, or I ask myself, what can I do in order to break away from that? What can I do as an entrepreneur? And I love the fact that Victor of Give Me a Flick, man, he owns his own, or manages, I think he owns his own English school in Nagoya. Entrepreneur. Or you make enough money to where you don't have that entrepreneurial spirit, or I don't know. I could open up a dojo. My martial arts aren't that good. I'm a black belt in 2 things, but I think it's 2. Pretty sure it's 2. That's not good enough. And even personally, I wouldn't want to, because I just don't. I feel there are better people. I like my teaching style. I like how I hold mitts and stuff like that. I like how I interact with people, but I have a hard time accepting money when I do private lessons or anything like that. I could move to Japan and open up an English school, but I don't have enough faith in my own English. Could open up something to do with Japanese, but I don't have nearly enough confidence in my Japanese. So it's troubling. I could tie them together, Japanese martial arts, but I don't know any. I mean, I do. Like I said, I did a few katas. I know Uchigata, outside part. And this makes it look really bad, like I know what I'm doing. You wouldn't believe I held 2 black belts. One's right there. The other one I never got a certificate on, because it wasn't formal. It was just like, you're a black belt now. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, thanks. So, if anyone ever asks me to prove it, I'd have to give you that person's contact. This one I have a certificate. So, you know, I'm really big into mixed martial arts. I was like, oh yeah, maybe I could, you know, make money writing articles. Who wants to read my articles? I mean, you know, for those of you who are not aware or aware, that Bruce Lee has been introduced into the EA Sports UFC game, and he's touted as the father of mixed martial arts. That's a misnomer. No, he's not. They like to think he is because of, you know, the idea of Jeet Kune Do being, you know, have many arts in it, and that's fine. That's great. Yeah, he did mix the martial arts, but not for the purpose of sport. So I was going to write an article on that, and then I was thinking, the fuck wants to read that? I'm some pompous prick. And believe you me, Jeet Kune Do guys get enough shit about being pompous, as well as, you know, compared to like a Muay Thai guy or something like that. Jeet Kune Do guys think too much about the martial. Well, yeah, because generally we are taught to. Neither here nor there. So it's like, well, you know, who wants to read my pompous shit? And you know, I don't know. Maybe somebody does and somebody doesn't. But so maybe I could, you know, draw and do that. And I have had people interested, and I do have a couple. I have done a few things where I've received money for drawing something for them, or maybe even I could sell my paintings. That would be something viable, but, you know, I would have to sell, in order to be viable, I would have to sell somewhere around, if I had each painting at, let's say, $100, which I don't know how much they're worth. If I sold each one at $100, I would have to sell 30 paintings. Not 30, maybe 20. 25 paintings a month. I've made, in the past 4 months that I've had it, 2.5 months that I've had it, I've made 7 paintings. 7. So yeah, so that's where I am. Lack of motivation, with my cat taking a shit and still trying to clean it up, even though the litter box is clean, and then my bird eating near the net, so it just spills everywhere. And yeah, well, oh damn, this stinks. Ugh. I gotta go now. Oh, all right, guys, if you watch this, I appreciate it. You know, thank you for listening to me blabble. I appreciate the views and the interest. I will make a better video soon, I hope. All right, guys. Party on.